Welcome back to Attitude Effort Results, presented by Teamwork Online and the Clubhouse. Today we're going to have some energy, we're going to have some passion, and the reason being is because this is the season finale of Season 2. This is episode 52 of Season 2, 104 total episodes. And I just got to clap. And yes, I'm clapping for myself. And that might be a little weird, but I'm also clapping for my team. I'm also clapping for every single person that has been impacted by this podcast so far. I'm also clapping for everybody who is going to be impacted by this in the future, because we don't know what that holds. I'm going to throw a couple stats at you because we love statistics. The first stat I'm going to throw at you is absolutely 100% not researched at all. And the first stat is there were about 100 people that told me I shouldn't do this and that it would never last. So to everybody out there, thank you for telling me that. Because if I didn't have a team behind me, I wouldn't have. That's a guarantee. And we're going to talk about winning today. And winning is a team sport. And winning is having a phenomenal team behind you, which I do. And I'm proud to say that we have had multiple people flow in and out of Attitude Effort Results, but that has not stopped us from producing content, from being creative, from having different ideas, implementing different strategies, but continuing with one goal in mind, and that's to impact people, because we are most empowered to help the people we once were. We have had 13,000 episode plays, over 2,000 hours plus listened to. On Instagram, we have 70,000 views in the last 90 days, because that's all the analytics would tell me was the last 90 days. So 70,000 in the last 90 days. We have 14,238 specific new accounts reached over the last 90 days on Instagram. Just the last 90 days. 1,100 followers on LinkedIn. You guys want me to keep going? I'll keep going. I could do this all day because I'm bragging on my team. Not me at all. It's all my team. I could do this all day. One of the biggest stats that I'll tell you is that we have placed 27 people directly into a new job in the sport industry. That's through the coaching platform. That's through connections, relationships. That's through helping people get from where they are to where they want to go. And hundreds of people have been impacted in an indirect manner. And that is why we do it. So, welcome to Season 2, Episode 52, the finale of Season number 2. What's new with Attitude Effort Results? As always, like I just said, we're adding people, we're growing. So Jeremy Hadler, welcome to the Attitude Effort Results social team. We are excited to have you right at the end of Season 2, going into Season 3. He's going to have a big role in our team moving forward. He's also a killer. I think you guys probably see a theme. We only bring in killers. All right, objective of today. We're going to define winning. We're going to create actionable steps how to not lose, because we don't like losers. We just don't like them. They're not fun to be around, and you don't want to be one. And we just don't like losers. All right, how we're going to get there today, we're going to talk about how to create a winning culture. What is your why, how to win, and why you should win. How do we create a winning culture? Right? I think that's a pretty dynamic question, and one that leaders across the country are asking consistently. And if you're a part of a team or you lead a team, you've probably either been asked or have asked that question to somebody else. How do you create a winning culture? Think of your favorite championship sports team, your band that won the state title, your classmate who had perfect attendance. Think of somebody who wins consistently, a team that wins consistently. LeBron James, Tom Brady, doesn't matter how you feel about any of them. Michael Jordan, the dude just won. He just wins. Pat Summitt with Tennessee, she just won. What separates them? They're working in silence. When nobody was watching, they built a winning culture, not only for themselves, but for their team. We saw that in The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. That was captured. He just creates a winning environment. What does winning mean to you? Or what is winning culture? First, you have to define that for yourself because, like I said earlier, it is different for everybody. For your team, in your studies if you're in school, for your employees if you're a manager, what does a winning culture mean to you? What does winning mean to you? Establish a clear vision, a mission, and values. Okay, cool. Those words are fun, Tanner. Those are great. You pulled those right out of ChatGPT. Thank you very much. What does that mean? A clear vision. What is your goal? Go define your goal because you are going to be able to win more often when you know where you're headed. Right? You need to know where you're headed. You need to know what your mission is. In the military, it's pretty clear what some of the missions are. Stop terrorism from getting in the country. Help defend our country. That's a mission. Now, what do they do consistently? My brother-in-law is training in the military currently. They train consistently for months and months and months on end for a potential threat. That's how we have to think about this. You have to train every day to potentially have the opportunity to hit your goal one day. And that's scary for some people, and honestly, most aren't willing to do it. And that's why there's a lot of losers in the world today. They're just not willing to do it. That's why I think it's easier to get ahead than what we make it seem. Because it's what you're doing every single day. And it might not be your team. Maybe your team has a losing culture. You can still win. You can change it from within because you can lead by example. You can focus on your results. You can focus on your accountability. You can focus on your effort, your communication to your manager, your communication to your teammates. You can control that. You got to build a strong value system. Value system with us, pretty clear, right on the shirt. And if you're not watching, go to YouTube or open up Spotify because it says it right here, right across my chest. Attitude, effort, results. That's our winning culture. Everybody on our team has that. 70,000 views over the last couple of months. I'm a bum from a dairy farm speaking on camera, and we have 70,000 views. It's not because of me. It's because our team is committed to having a phenomenal attitude. They put in way more effort than they probably should, and now we're seeing results. And some of it we haven't seen in 2 years. Hunter and I didn't even know how to turn a camera on when we started this thing. Right? So build a value system that you can live by. And that's going to be different for everybody. It doesn't have to be the same for everybody. But what is your why? That's point number 2 today. What is your why? Go figure it out. If you have not read it, I've said it multiple times, but I'm going to keep drilling it down for you. Simon Sinek has a book called Start With Why, where you will be taken on a journey. Throughout his book, you will be taken on a journey to figure out what is your deepest sense of why in this world. You guys have heard me say it before. Mine is to serve others because Christ served us. Yours might be to make a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your why. So go figure it out. Yours might be to be famous. Maybe you want to be an athlete so you can be famous and roll up in the nice car. Nothing wrong with that. That's your why. Some people might be to give. That's my wife. She likes giving. She enjoys making others feel really, really good. Might be legacy. Some it might be women. Some it might be alcohol. We don't have to hold back on that. We can be real and raw and transparent. That might be somebody's why. In fact, we've seen that in our space. Some of these high-level individuals, that is their why. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because I really like my job. But we've seen it. It's crazy, but it's true. Some people don't have a why. Some people have no idea why they do things. They're just out here willy-nilly dialing the phone trying to make sales. Like, what are you trying to make sales for? I don't know. That's my job. That is the lowest level of purpose in life. The lowest level of purpose. Some people don't have a why in anything they do. Imagine if you had a why in everything you did. Some people don't have it in anything. Imagine if you had it in everything. How much further is the gap going to be from you to the next person? How much further are you going to separate yourself from the next individual in line? How much more would you win that deal over the next person, or win a basketball game, or win a sprint? Think about this. How about this? I'll give you a little scenario. Think about this. You're lining up to do sprints in basketball. Everybody's loved these things. They're called suicides. Actually, I think they changed the name of that now. You guys get the point. You're lining up, okay? Mentally put yourself here. Everybody close your eyes unless you're driving or running on the treadmill. Then don't close your eyes. But just think about this. You're about to line up to do a sprint, okay? If you lose this sprint, your punishment is you have to shoot a free throw at the end of the sprint, okay? Mentally go there. You got your whole team lined up. Coach is 3, 2, 1, go. How fast did you run? Where'd you finish in the race? If it's in your mind, I hope to the good Lord above you finish first. Like, if we're not finishing first in a race that we're running in our mind, we got to go deeper, right? But how fast did you run? I don't want to focus on where you finished. I want to focus on how fast did you run. Now go back and let's do the same scenario again. But this time, if you lose the race, you're kicked off the team. Ready, set, go. How fast did you run this time? In which scenario did you run faster? You're doing the same thing. Your goal is the exact same goal. Your goal is to win the race. But your why is a little deeper in the second scenario. Fair? How do we get better when we have a why? I talked with John Gordon today, actually. I was blessed that John Gordon, one of the top speakers in the world, came to speak to our organization today, and I got a chance to talk to him after he spoke with us. His message today was consistency and commitment. You guys know I love actionable steps. How are we going to get there? How are we going to get our why to produce goals for us? It's consistency and commitment. Because when you commit to your goals, that's different than just setting your goals. Fair? What is your commitment to your craft, to your skills? What about the commitment to your team? The commitment to your family? The commitment to your goals? How about this one? What's your commitment level to yourself? I think that's one of the toughest things that we can do is commit to ourselves. When we set an alarm at night and we don't wake up in the morning and we hit snooze, we're lying to ourselves because at night we told ourselves we were going to get up. What's your commitment level to yourself like? This is one that I have struggled with a ton. And I can be vulnerable here in saying that this is one I have struggled with a lot and still do to this day. But I can confidently say from the first time I heard John Gordon speak a couple years ago at the Daniel Summit, I can confidently say that he has changed my mindset of committing to myself. Because it's not just about getting goals. It's about discipline to yourself. Because when you tell yourself you're going to do it and then you do it, your subconscious brain says, oh, guess what? I'm committed. Guess what? I'm disciplined. Guess what? When I put my mind to something, I do it. When I set a goal, I commit and I attack it. And so I want to challenge you today, which I challenge people often, which is fun for me to sit on the side of this camera and speak into just sit on this side of the mic and speak into a camera and challenge you. I like being challenged too. So if you got a challenge for me, you can reach out. I actually have people reach out to me consistently and be like, hey, I got a challenge for you. You think you're all high and mighty because you can talk into a camera over here. No, I don't think I'm high and mighty. I'm just the one that's been consistent in recording, and it's been 104 episodes. So take that. I get to talk into a camera, and you get to listen. All right, we'll keep rolling. Sorry, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. When you set goals, and guys, I want you to listen to this from an area of me having so much passion for helping others, because I did not have any of this growing up. And I would have loved to mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually be in the spot that I am now back when I was younger. Or have somebody talk to me like this. And I've had many mentors talk to me like this, and it has changed my life. And that's why I'm here with you guys today, because I have had others change my life, and it is my goal, it is my passion, it is my why, is to serve others. And I personally believe that God gave me this platform and this team around me to serve others at the highest level. And so I appreciate you listening to me. And yes, I make some jokes sometimes, but I think it keeps it light. And I hope that you guys enjoy it and laugh sometimes. All right, we'll keep it pushing. When you set goals, we don't want to just set goals today. This is not a goal-setting conversation. This is a winning. There is a difference between setting a goal and just freaking winning. Because guess what? Winning is actually more fun than fun is fun sometimes. I'm going to say that again. Winning is more fun than fun is fun. For those of you who are not good at listening like me sometimes, winning is more fun than fun is fun. Think of when you were in high school and you won a basketball game. You probably went to the locker room with a little more swagger and a little more smiles than if you lost the game. Fair? Could be softball, could be volleyball, could be anything. You probably went back to the locker room smiling a little bit more than if you lost. Well, what if you lost and you just had an absolute blast, but you lost by 40? Are you still going to the locker room smiling? Like, oh, I had some fun today. No, you want to win. And I promise you, winning is fun. So when you set goals, I want you to anchor them to commitments. Anchor your goals to commitments, and then anchor those to actions. And I'll give you an example. When you set goals, anchor them to commitments, and then anchor those commitments to actions. If your goal is to lose 10 pounds before the wedding day, everybody loves losing weight before the wedding day. If your goal is to lose 10 pounds before the wedding day, that's a pretty big why, because you're going to be in pictures for the rest of your life. You're going to show your kids, your grandkids. They're going to be on the legacy wall. My family farm has generations of 6 family generations, all, I don't know if they're all on their wedding day, but most of them are from their wedding day. So if that's your why, that's a pretty big why, because 6 generations of people are going to see that picture of you. I think I'd probably want to look good too, right? Fair? I think that's pretty fair. The commitment is to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. The action is to get up early 3 times a week. So your action is to get up early, but it's rooted deeply in your why. And you're going to be able to mentally get out of bed early 3 times a week with the picture of what you want to look like on your wedding day more than if you just needed to go to the gym. Think of a business goal. For you right now, I'll tell you my goal. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'll do it anyways. And hopefully Callie won't kill me because of it. I'm planning on purchasing a house. That's my why. Now, if I stop there, that's a decent why. I'd like to purchase a house. But my why is actually so I can watch my kids run around in a backyard, in a safe neighborhood. My why is to go to the backyard to sit at a bonfire with Hunter and drink a couple beers. My why is to throw the TV on and watch the Packers whoop some butt. My why is to have people over and to entertain, because I really enjoy entertaining and my wife really enjoys having people over and creating those experiences. Okay, pretty deep why, but I can visualize what that looks like. In my mind, my subconscious mind does not know the difference of me visualizing that why and that life versus reality. That's a fact. It doesn't, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and what's not reality. And so when I have that why, my commitment is to now make X amount of money per month so that we can get to our goal. My actions now is I have to prospect and dial so many times, because sales is a numbers game, and we have to prospect and dial so many times to get to our goal. When you think when I'm sitting in the office at 5:30 or 6 p.m. dialing people that I've been calling for days, I'm on touch point 42 with them, you think I'm having a good time over there? No. I've had people tell me to F off. I've had people like hang up on me, and I have still called them 10 times after. You think I enjoy doing that? No. But my why is a house, not to make sales calls. Does that work? Everybody on the same page? All right, I love this. Let's keep rolling. 2 more points. How to win. How do you win? Obviously, you know in sports, when the time runs up or the innings are over, that's how you win. Actually, not when time runs up. In soccer, it's like, hey, when time runs up, but then like maybe a little bit more, and then just like, well, we're not really sure. And then one guy is just out there just like, well, I'm not done running around here yet. Like, let's throw some more time out there. And then, you know, the wind blew too hard, so less 1 more minute. It wasn't fair before, so just like throw another minute out there. I'm joking. I work in the MLS, so I can joke about it now, okay? How to win. How to win is refusing to lose, because you must be willing to fail. You must be willing to fail. Let me say it again. You must be willing to fail. And then once you fail, then just go do it again. Then just go repeat it and do it again. Go to the gym and look like a fool for a week, because guess what? After week 2 or 3, you're going to start figuring it out. Go to business conferences and not have any idea what you're doing there. And guess what? The 3rd or 4th time, everybody starts to notice you and start asking you questions. Wear a suit coat in the office when everybody else is wearing a polo and look like a fool for a week or 2 or 3 or 4. And then after a year or 2 or 3 or 4, watch everybody else go to a suit coat. Act like a fool. Look like a fool. Sorry, don't act like a fool. Look like a fool. Get into spaces and look like a fool. Try that new meal prep and hate it. Try cooking dinner like I do, and it's bad. Really bad. I'm not a good cook. You only lose when you give up. And so there's a couple different things. In order to win, you have to refuse to lose. You have to be consistent in your commitment. I have 402 apartments in this complex that I live in. 402. Average of 2 people per apartment is 804 apartments. Yes, I am really good at math, and I did that all by myself. Actually, that's a lie. I had to look at the screen because I almost forgot it, so I'm actually not that good at math. 804 people, okay? This is not me bragging on myself, and if you think it is, that's okay, because I don't really care what you think of me, but I'm going to illustrate a point. 804 people live in this apartment building. On Monday mornings, there's about 5 people at the gym before 6 a.m. On Tuesday, there's roughly 3. On Wednesday, there's roughly 3. On Thursday, there's maybe me and another person. And on Friday, it's all about what people did on Thursday night. Maybe they're in on Friday, maybe they're not. Maybe they're in on Friday and I can see if they went on Thursday night. I'm not saying that to say that I'm better than everybody. I'm saying that to say I've seen this for 2 months now. This is as consistent as it gets. People don't show up consistently. So in order to win, all you have to do is show up consistently. Just keep showing up. It's not that hard to go to the gym week 1. It's not that hard to pick up and read the first book. I'll be vulnerable again here. I feel like I'm being vulnerable a lot this episode. That's okay. Callie and I started, when we moved here, we wanted to do Bible study every weekend. It wasn't that hard to do it week 1. We did it week 2. We missed week 3, but guess what? We did it twice week 4, so we kind of made up for it because we're good people. We haven't done it in 4 weeks. It's commitment. We haven't committed to it. We haven't found an action item to anchor to the commitment yet. Because I would actually say that we're pretty committed to it because we set the goal, we're committed to it. It's a passion of ours to grow in our faith. We have not set an action to anchor the commitment yet. And so we have 2 of the 3 steps down, but we haven't done it in a month. That's why people like David Goggins can do outlandish things in life, is because they have actionable steps that are anchored to their commitment. And their mind is stronger than their body. It is, because your mind's going to be tough. We get home from work, we kind of just want to sit on the couch. Yeah, I kind of just want to sit on the couch and not do anything. It's kind of fun sometimes. It's our mind that has to overcome our body. And that's why people like Goggins are one of one in the world, is because his mind is able to overcome. Don't listen to me. Listen to what John Gordon told me today. Commitment and consistency is what this is about. Commitment and consistency will lead you to your goals, will lead you to a winning culture in an organization, will lead you to a winning personality, will lead you to a winning mindset, a winning relationship, a winning life. Because you are a culmination of the habits that you have created and consistently done over time. You are a culmination of the habits you have created and consistently performed over time. And I'm going to end it with this. Why should somebody win? We thought about maybe putting this at the front end. Why should you win? You should win because we're telling you to win. No, that's not why you should win. And before I go down this rabbit hole, I want to take a moment to say that everybody's winning looks different. Winning to some could be teacher of the year. Winning to their counterpart could be teaching school because they never thought they'd have a job. Winning in sales could be number 1 in the entire company for somebody. For their counterpart could be making enough so their family back home doesn't have to work. Winning is different for everybody. And it's important to note that it means something different for everybody as well. And it doesn't have to be solely at work. It can be at home. Maybe your goal, maybe your life, your winning goal in life is to be a trophy husband. If that's the case, let me know how we do that. I'm in. I want in. Tell me, please. I want to help. I would be a terrible trophy husband because I would literally bother everybody that ever looked at me during the day. I would walk outside and just start talking to people, and I'd be like that one Midwest person that you literally can't stop having a conversation with, and I don't think people would enjoy it. So that's why, I can't do that. So, but if you can, I'm open to learning, and I would like to be taught. It could be being the best grandfather, being the best aunt, being the best godmother. It could be reading 10 pages a day. But why is it important? Winning does 5 things. Psychologically, winning does 5 things for you. And this is proven, and if you want to look it up, you can. Winning increases confidence and self-esteem. When you win and you start racking off wins, time and time and time again, that's where self-confidence and self-esteem comes from. You don't build confidence by losing. That is a guarantee. Nobody gets done getting their butt whooped in a pickleball match by their parents and go, wow, I'm the best pickleball player out there. No one gets done losing in Mario Kart or Wii bowling to a family friend or a cousin and goes, wow, I think my self-esteem is just through the roof right now. No. You don't get done getting your butt whooped at a meeting with your boss because your numbers stink and walk out and go, wow, God, he made me feel good. I'm glad I had the conversation with her. I feel awesome about myself. I'm about to get fired. This is great. Nobody does that. So winning does that. It increases confidence and self-esteem. Number 2 is it gives you a sense of accomplishment. And when you accomplish one thing, your brain has a dopamine reward system embedded into it. And when you win once, it wants it again. That's why people love cocaine. Because there's dopamine in it and it wants it again and again and again. I'm not advocating for coke. I'm saying it works the same way. If you guys do research on the brain and listen to some of this stuff, it's actually fascinating. The third is motivation and drive, because everybody's gotten out of bed hungover on a Sunday and done absolutely nothing with their life, myself included, because they have no motivation or drive, because you made bad decisions the night before. And how do you feel all day? Not great. And you probably wake up Monday pretty tired. You probably wake up Monday with not a whole lot of pep in your step. That's just how it works. And so winning gives you motivation and drive. The fourth thing is, I'm going to go back to it because it's that important. It actually gives you a dopamine release. It makes you want to do it again. And it makes other people around you want to be around you and want to win. So you're not only releasing dopamine within yourself, you are giving that to others. What's your why? Mine is to serve others. So if I can give that to others, that's a win. And the last is you have a reduced fear of failure, because when you win, you have figured something out. You figured it out because you won. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's being present with your kid and you're going to all their baseball games. Maybe it's cooking dinner with your wife. You figured it out. And so you no longer have a fear of failing because you figured it out once you win. So that's what I got for you today. People enjoy hanging out with winners, and we want to create winners. That's why we're here. I've had people in my life, Hunter's had people in his life that have helped us get to a space where we have the opportunity to win. Now, we have a lot to go. We have to grow a ton yet. And that's the fun of it. Is it the journey that we are on? It's the process that we are on. But winning along the way is really, really fun. The end goal is to chase wins, because when you chase wins, you stack wins. When you stack wins, you separate yourself. When you separate yourself, your life and those lives around you will be benefited because of it. So we talked about how to create a winning culture today. We talked about how to understand what your why is. We talked about how to win. And then we finished with why you should win. Listen, we're getting into the school year. Good luck with school year this year for all of our college listeners out there. Share this with every single person in your fraternity, sorority, club. Share this with everybody. We're going to be starting a college speaker series again. We've already had a couple booked, actually. We already have a couple booked. And so Hunter and I are going to be going on our college tour again. So if you want us to speak at your school, let us know. We have a very small fee of $100,000, so it's not that much. I'm sure your college will cover it. I'm kidding. We're not there yet. Our fee is actually pretty significant, but it's not 100,000. Just message us. We'll tell you about it. We encourage you to get involved as much as you possibly can this year. We actually have an episode titled Get Involved, if you'd like to go listen to that. On the horizon for 2 years, we are a couple days away from actually marking year number 2 of the podcast. So we appreciate you very, very much. We will also have an awesome giveaway with year 2 on the horizon. So share this with your family and friends. Give them the opportunity to have that giveaway as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I can't believe we're saying this, but this is the end of season 2. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back with season 3, and we'll kick it off with a phenomenal interview next week. Let's inspire others and continue to grow together.